Alright guys, so here are all the tools we are going to need to build a 3-core alien coil. We've got our pliers, our snips, some scissors, and a 2.5 millimeter screwdriver or bit. I like to use the 2.5s personally, but you can use a 2 or 3 or really any size that you prefer. And then we've got our 28 gauge nichrome from Kidney Puncher and our 36 gauge nichrome from Kidney Puncher. So what we're going to do, we're going to put that stuff to the side for a second. We're going to grab our 28 and our pliers, and I'm going to pull out multiple lengths. What you want to do is you want to make one strand about 1/3 longer than your overall alien. So I'm going to make this about 12 to 18 inches, so 1 foot to 1.5 foot long. And what you want to do is pull it and then just pull real hard with your pliers, and that will straighten it out instead of taking the time to put it in a drill and twist it. Oh yes, there will also be a drill that we're going to need. So we're going to cut that. And that's going to be our long one. That's what we're going to clapton around. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to pull out 3 more lengths of wire, all about 1 foot long, for our cores. Here's 1. Make sure you get a good grip with your pliers. There's 2. And then 1 more. All right. That is the gist of the prep. Let me get my drill and reposition the camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so I moved a few things around. Got my trusty drill here. What we're going to do is we're going to take that long piece of 28, we're going to secure it in the chuck of our drill rather. It helps to have like a little L-shape bend in the end to help secure it. And we're going to stick that right here. I did also forget to mention a set of swivels and like a small clamp. We're also going to need some swivels and a small little clamp just to hold it onto the counter. Alright, so after we've put this in the drill, we're going to put the other end in our swivel. I'm just going to loop it through there. Kind of twist it onto there so it's not going to go anywhere. Alright, so I've got that all right in here. And to start off the alien, what I like to do, because you have to reverse directions when you, we'll get there. So what I like to do is I like to go underneath and do a counterclockwise. So if your wire is here, it's spinning backwards. So the clapton wire is going to go underneath and then around. So I'm going to get out my 36 gauge. Grab this here. And this is just going to be like making a clapton. If you don't know how to make a clapton, then this coil might be pretty difficult for you. I would suggest using your Google Foo fingers and go on YouTube how to make a clapton before you do this build. This is an advanced build. It's not easy for most people. So I don't want you to mess this up and waste a whole bunch of wire. So we got that secured on here. I'm just gonna hold on to the spool and I'm gonna let it kind of walk itself down the wire. Like I said, we're in reverse right now. And I'm gonna start it off nice and slow. And all right, now that we've got that whole thing clapped in, I'm going to snip the end. And we're actually all done with our 36. So I'm going to put my trusty piece of tape back on here to hold the wire in place. Set that aside. All right, so what I like to do, because we have to decore this Clapton, we have to take this Clapton wrap off of the core. So just to make sure I don't hit any snags, I like to give it a couple test pulls back and forth, make sure it's nice and loose. And it seems like it's pretty good. So I'm going to take it out of the chuck of the drill. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to snip off that end. Get rid of that. Make sure that's still pretty good. Alright, then grab your core at the end over by the swivels where you stopped and just start pulling towards this direction. And you can slide it all the way off. And then we have our decored Clapton. Alright, so take your piece of 28 that you put on the swivels that we used to core the Clapton and set that aside. We don't really need it anymore. And then what you want to do, these next few steps are the hard ones. So what you really want to do is be careful here. All these 3 cores that we cut before, take right where the L bends are, and snip it off because we don't need that anymore. Grab those, make them all kind of line up at the end, same length there. And run your fingers down the wire till you get to these ends. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to snip them so they're the same length. Alright. So, let me grab my swivel here. I can show you what to do next. I took my swivel off of the clamp so you can kind of see. You're going to grab these 3 cores here. We're going to hold them so they're flat. So they're, in parallel with each other. So we don't have any kinks or snafus. We're going to take them and grab your swivel. You're going to loop the end through the swivel so it's flat, like that. See what I did there? They're flat, they're running in parallel. If you want, you can do that, a little extra. I usually do an extra wrap around the swivel. So I'll hold my cores flat, grab where I wrapped it around, just like that. Give it an extra, extra little bit of security there. So we got that. Have our 3 cores run in parallel. And then run your fingers all the way down to the end. Grab your drill out here. And then I'm using a 3-pronged chuck drill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these and I'm going to bend one down to the right, the other outside one down to the left, and then the center core here, we're going to bend up. So we've got 3 prongs to fit in our chuck. Line it up with the gaps in the chuck there. Tighten it down real good. So now, since we wrapped the initial Clapton in reverse, we're going to change the direction on the drill to forward. We're going to completely change the direction. Alright, set that down for a second. Alright, remember this, our D-chord Clapton. What you want to do, take the end and kind of stretch it out a little bit, because we're going to use this to tie off to our clamp so we can stretch out this whole core. So I'm going to tie it off right now. Only takes a second, just giving it a quick little tie. Just so it's something to hold on to, because we're going to grab the other end with our pliers, but we're going to take it and we're going to stretch it out. Not completely, you want it to kind of look like a corkscrew when you're done. So I'll give you an up close look at that in a second. So I'm going to grab the, oh, it came off of my swivel, that's alright. I'm going to put this back on the clamp right there. I'm going to grab one end with my pliers, just kind of like this, hold it really tight. We're just going to stretch it out real good. Keep stretching it. You're going to end up walking kind of far. Till it looks like a corkscrew, till it looks like you're ready to open a bottle of wine. See if I can't give you an up close look at that real quick. Alright, so I've stretched it. So it looks kind of like that. See how it's still got the spiral to it? That's exactly what you want. Alright, so now that we have that, see how I kind of tied it off so it would be on my swivel? That's actually going to work for us pretty well, because we're going to take that little loop we made, loop it around one of the ends of the chuck. Take that and bend it down so it doesn't come off. And now we're just going to kind of get it started here, and then I'll give you an up close zoom in. Alright, so I got it started. I'll be right back with the up close. Alright, so here it is up close, really zoomed in. See how we got that corkscrew right here? That makes it so you get the distinctive wave in the alien. Right there. So at this point, you want to hold this Clapton wire, this alien wire that we've decored. I like to hold it about 6 to 10 inches away with light pressure. Not too light so it slips out of your hand, but not too firm that you're twisting up your cores here, because that is the worst thing you can do. So hold it, 6 to 10 inches away. I'm going to go back out and wrap the rest of this, and you can watch it happen. Alright, so like I said, I like to hold it a little ways away, at not perfectly perpendicular to your cores, but slightly leading it. So like if this is my left side and I'm going down this way, I like to hold it back and then a little to the left. So we're going to go down and do the rest of this right now. Alright, so we finished that. Here is our completed alien wire. I also did a small piece to show you what happens if you do pull that D-cord alien. If you do pull it tight, you'll see right here how it bunches up. I did this intentionally to show you. See how it kind of twists up and they don't lay flat? If you put too much tension on your wrap wire, you cause it to all twist up and get ruined. Alright, so we're going to take our completed stick of alien and our 2.5mm driver. I'm going to grab it. I'm just going to start wrapping it around here. Just like you would any other coil, really. I like to do 5 wraps. And I don't like that first one I did, so I'm going to do an extra one. So it's 6 wraps there, and then I'm going to take off that wrap I did not like. Just grabbing my pliers, give it a little twist. Alright. And then we have a 5 wrap, 3-core alien. So you would take this and you would install it just like you would any other coil. I'm not going to do an install video today, but I just wanted to give you a quick build tutorial. And that's that. And let's go back to the face-to-face and we'll talk about it a little bit. Alright, so we've done our 5-wrap 3-core aliens. I've got a pair sitting right here in my Drugga RDA on the Cartel Revenant. This thing is truly beautiful. Dual coil came out to a 0.13. At 80 watts, I'm getting about 3.5 to 3.4 volts. Vapor production is amazing. There's a reason that this is my favorite build. The vapor production is fantastic. Flavor is off the charts. It's not the easiest build, but it's not awful. There are much harder builds that I've done that don't give me a better flavor, don't give me better vapor production. I build this the same way every time because this same thing will run just as well on a mech, a regulated mod, just about anything. And the flavor I'm getting is just fantastic. I'm using in here some Strawberries Down Under from Vape Goons. Kind of a strawberry kiwi. I'm actually opening up a new bottle right now. It's a strawberry kiwi with a little bit of cream to it, and it's just fantastic. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to blow right through the middle. You just want to lick your lips after. But anyways, that's the 3-core alien. I'm Omi603, omi603@gmail.com. Keep on vaping.